Alrighty. Okay, dokie. We have got some storms going on. So if anyone sees me suddenly disappear during this live show, it's because the power went out. We're having some like crazy storms right now. So if you're new here to my channel, I just want to say hello and welcome. This is a very loving platform where you can come and share your stories, your experiences, and your perspectives and everything like that. And let's just go ahead and see who we have in the chat. We have Rob Smiley. Hello, Rob. How are you doing? What's going on? Dave Cavity. Dave Cavity says, there you are, looking good and sound good. Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Rob Smiley says, aye, Dave Cavity, the coach is here. Yeah. Leah. Hello, Leah. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, Leah? What's going on, Rob and Dave? What are you guys doing today? Are you guys like getting excited for your 4th of July? Do you guys plan on doing anything big for 4th of July? I know I'm not. My kids are all grown, and I just go to bed really early on 4th of July. What are you guys all doing 4th of July? I know it's not today, but yeah, I'm just curious what you guys do. So I just want to say that if all of a sudden you see a blackout screen, it's because our power went out. You just never know with these crazy storms that are going on. And we've got some crazy thunder and all that jazz going on right now with a major storm that just rolled in. But I'm still just going to keep on going, you guys, so don't worry. So yeah, today, we are going to talk about the Scorpio and Mercury placements. And of course, all the Scorpios out there are probably going to be able to relate to all of these traits because these are Scorpio traits across the board. So, do any of you out there have a Scorpio in your Mercury sign? I'm just curious. So Leah says, currently stuffing food in your face. You're in Canada. All right. So what's going on in Canada? So you're in Canada and you just had Canada Day. Awesome. Do you guys have like a lot of parades and stuff during your like Canada Day, like Canada Day parades and stuff? I'm just curious. Canada is really beautiful. Ross Smiley says, I'm not either. I don't really believe in holidays like other people. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm just like, bah humbug. I don't care about holidays. I celebrated them way back in the day when my kids were really young, of course, and at home. But like once they moved out, I was like, I'm just become a big bah humbug, like the Grinch. Dave says, not even Christmas, coach. Oh, okay. You're talking to each other. Seems like people don't barbecue anymore. I know. And see, I love a good barbecue any time of the year. I can barbecue during winter and fall. It don't matter if it's hailing outside. I love a good barbecue. We got King Capri. Oh, thank you for the compliment on my glasses. Yeah, they're my new glasses. They're the bling bling with my fleur-de-lis. Yeah, I had to get a nice pair of glasses just for my live shows. The other ones, are like my cheap ones, and they just don't look that flattering on my face, I don't think. But we got Water Barrier. Hello, hello, Water Barrier. King Capri. Leah, no parade, but lots of fireworks. Oh yeah, I can imagine. So they basically do the same thing as what the United States does for 4th of July. So that sounds awesome. Waterbury says, my love has Sun in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, and Venus retrograde in Scorpio. Awesome. Awesome. My goodness. Yeah, we got some Scorpio energy going on right there. Dave Cowdy says, the King, Rob Smiley, homebody. Right, yeah. It's like if you have animals and stuff, like, I know my dog when he was alive. Oh my goodness. We've got KVNMRT. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but Mercury is in Scorpio. So you have Mercury in Scorpio. Awesome. Rob Smiley says bling bling. Yeah, I like my bling bling. I don't always wear bling bling, you guys, so don't get your knickers in a bunch, okay? Because I'm not always a bling bling girl. A lot of times my hair is all wrapped up in buns, so I don't know, wear big old brim hats. You know, if I go walking in the sun and all that, like, yeah, sometimes I like to wear like long pants, and I have to protect my skin from the sun because I burn instantly. Rob Smiley. Let's see. Leah says, no idea where my Mercury placement would be here in Canada. We don't keep record of the time of, oh, you don't keep record of the time of birth in your records. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I have about a 30-minute difference in what my time of birth can be. Well, 30 minutes, yeah. Because usually every like 2 hours, your rising sign changes. So the time, it's getting really spooky around here. I'm like, man, is that hail? But like, your rising sign like changes every 2 hours, and that's determined on the time of day you were born. If you just want a general natal birth chart and you know like the city you were born, of course, your whole entire birth date, you can get a general reading. You just won't know what your rising sign is, and it messes up all your houses. But if you just want to know like what your sun, moon, and planet placements are, you can get a natal birth chart done without having the exact time of day. So, my goodness. Yeah, I would say Kevin. Okay, so KVN. Can I just call you Kevin? Is that okay? Because I don't know what your name is, but I don't want to like mispronounce your name either. So see, I see the KVN, so I'm just like Kevin, and then you got MR. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'll just call you Kevin. So anyways, we got a big crowd here. How are you guys doing today? All right. Thank you guys for being here, you guys. I'm just so excited. Okay, so don't get your hopes up. Okay, so he says yes. Okay, great. So I can call you Kevin. Yay. All right. Thank you for replying. I appreciate that. That makes life a little easier. You guys are lucky to have the time recorded. My oldest son is 30 now and holds it against me that I can't remember the exact time he was born. Oh, that's sad. He wants a proper chart done. Oh, yeah, it really does suck. Yeah, they do keep track of our times here in the United States. For sure. I remember my time. I remember my son and daughter's time of birth. And that's it. I don't remember anyone else's. Smiley says, best place to be on a Friday. Yeah. Home, like safe at home, right? All right, guys. You know what? If you guys have any questions, please hold them until the end here, and I will take your questions all in caps, please. I don't care if you guys are like chatting amongst each other. That's awesome. You guys go at it, have fun, learn from each other. I do just have a couple little small announcements before I jump into this. And that is, I'm just going to surprise you tomorrow about what I'm going to be talking about in my live, but it's definitely going to have Scorpio. I'm just not sure which one I'm just deciding to do. Now on Sunday, we are definitely going to get into why everyone seems to think that Scorpios are Scorpios. And we're going to set the record straight, you guys. We're going to totally go deep into that and literally just explain why it seems Scorpios get a bad rap for being like sex fiends and all that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's for Sunday. And then next week, I've got a load of videos. I think I'm going to go live 4 times next week, but I already have a few videos already. I already got a few video ideas already brewing. So, but if you guys ever have anything you would like me to do a video on, please just let me know in the chat. I do actually write down everything. eventually I will get to your video request. Okay, so like for your Scorpios out there or any other sign out there, if you want me to do videos on manifesting or synastry or a different zodiac sign, if you want me to talk about Tauruses or different planets or whatever it is that you are looking for, you can just feel free to let me know in the chat. I try to read. I do really try to get to everyone's comments, you guys. If I miss your comment, you're going to have to forgive me ahead of time because sometimes the chat's going really fast and I can't keep up, or I scroll up too far or not enough. So, okay. So Leah says, I've had 5 kids. It's hard to remember. Yeah. Yeah. Ross Smiley says they have ways to track the chosen ones. Yeah. Ross Smiley says attention seeking. Okay. So anyways, why don't we go ahead and get into this? And then I'll check the chat afterwards and see if you guys have any questions. So anyways, I'm just hoping the power doesn't go out, you guys. Cross your fingers, because oh my gosh, it's thundering. Now, if you guys haven't guessed it already, we are going to be piercing deeply into one of the most mysterious and intimidating placements like in all of astrology, and that is Mercury in Scorpio. And if you have this placement, or if you love somebody with this placement, you already know that conversations with these people are never simple. In other words, if you ask them how their day was, somehow like 20 minutes later, they have psychologically profiled your entire childhood, your attachment style, your deepest fears, and they still haven't answered the original question. You see, Mercury in Scorpio is not interested in small talk because they believe small talk is a crime against humanity. So if you ask them how the weather is, they want to know why storms exist, what emotional trauma the clouds are processing, and whether the rain has a hidden agenda. You see, Mercury represents the mind and communication, thinking, patterns, speech, and learning, and even perception. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, traditionally ruled by Mars. And in modern astrology, they are ruled by Pluto. Now, in ancient astrology, Scorpio belonged entirely to Mars. And Mars in Scorpio was not the warrior charging headfirst onto the battlefield like in Aries. Scorpio was a strategist sitting in the shadows, literally studying the battlefield before anyone realized the war had even started. This means Mercury in Scorpio thinks like a detective, speaks like an interrogator, and remembers things like an FBI archive. Now, in ancient Hellenistic astrology, Scorpio was associated with the hidden places and secret mysteries, death, transformation, and things buried like beneath the surface. Mercury, now entering into Scorpio, creates a mind that naturally searches for hidden things and hidden meanings. These people can walk into a room and immediately know who is angry, who is lying, who is secretly hating on others, and who is pretending to be happy on Facebook. You see, their intuition often feels very psychic because they notice details other people simply miss. Now, in esoteric astrology, Scorpio is considered one of the great signs of initiation. The soul enters darkness in order to discover truth. The symbol of Scorpio evolves through 3 stages: the scorpion, the eagle, and the phoenix. Now, Mercury in Scorpio often experiences these stages through communication. You see, the scorpion version stings with words. The eagle sees truth from above. The phoenix transforms pain into wisdom. Some Mercury and Scorpios use words as weapons. Others use words as medicine. The evolved souls learn both of those things. Now, in Kabbalistic astrology, Scorpio is connected to the Hebrew letter Nun. And Nun represents the fish moving through deep waters. And also it symbolizes transformation and death and rebirth. Now, the hidden waters of Scorpio represent the unconscious knowledge. Now, Mercury here does not simply collect facts. It descends into the underworld of the mind. And this is why many Mercury and Scorpio people are so fascinated by psychology, true crime, mysteries, the occult, astrology, conspiracy theories, human behavior, or anything that's forbidden, okay? They do not want the answer that everyone else accepts. They want the answer that's hidden behind the answer, okay? Their communication style can be absolutely hilarious because they ask questions nobody else would dare ask, okay? So you invite them, like if you invite them to dinner, like within 10 minutes, they'll ask, do you think your childhood trauma is affecting your marriage? Meanwhile, like everyone else at the dinner is still deciding whether or not they want mashed potatoes or rice. Now, Mercury and Scorpio skipped the appetizers and went directly into your soul contract. Now, in relationships, this placement can become both incredibly beautiful and incredibly challenging. You see, they crave emotional honesty. They need it. They can detect fake emotions from like a mile away. And if their partner says, oh, I'm just fine, the Mercury in Scorpio immediately hears, you are absolutely not fine. So why are you saying you're fine? Now, anyways, you can be angry with something like in 3 days, you'll just totally dismiss it. Now, they do not trust surface answers because they instinctively know that like human beings hide things. The problem is that Mercury in Scorpio sometimes believes everybody is hiding something, even when they are not hiding anything at all. Now, their minds become investigators without a day off. Okay, they don't take days off. Their partner might say something like, they took 20 minutes at the grocery store, and suddenly Mercury in Scorpio becomes a detective, documentary, narrator. Okay, you said, wow, you left at 4:17, and the receipt says 4:36. Well, the missing 19 minutes, okay, their partner simply stopped for gas, okay? But like a Mercury in Scorpio has already created like a 3-season crime series in their head, okay, while their partner was gone at the store. Mars is the traditional ruler, and it gives these individuals like a sharp words and like tremendous mental courage. They are not afraid of difficult conversations, and they will discuss death and betrayal and trauma and money, you know, emotional pain, even while everyone else out there is hiding behind weather reports and celebrity gossip. Pluto is a modern ruler, and that adds the psychological depth and transformation to a Scorpio and Mercury. Their words can permanently change people. Sometimes they heal others simply by speaking truth that nobody else had the courage to say. And you know, many Mercury and Scorpio individuals also have extraordinary memories. This can be both a gift and a curse, right? They remember exactly what was said in arguments from like 10 years ago. I kid you not. They remember the tone of voice you used, the facial expressions. They actually remember the weather that was going on outside and what song was playing in the car. Their brains operate like an emotional security cameras, and they'll probably remember everything and keep mental receipts, like literally of everything. Now, in ancient esoteric teachings I have read, they describe Scorpio as a sign where the illusion dies. Now, the planet Mercury here wants truth above comfort, and they would rather hear an ugly truth than a beautiful lie. They can make incredible counselors and therapists, researchers, investigators, healers, and spiritual teachers. And they understand that healing begins when the hidden becomes visible. Now, their shadow side appears when suspicion turns into obsession. You see, Mercury in Scorpio can become mentally trapped in overthinking. And they usually always replay every conversation like on a loop, okay? They analyze text messages, they search for hidden meanings and everything, even in things that may not exist. And get this, if somebody sends a period at the end of a text, a Mercury and Scorpio peep might think that period felt pretty aggressive. And if somebody like replies to their text messages with okay, well, you can bet on them to be studying emotional archaeology, trying to determine whether civilization has collapsed. Now, an evolved Mercury in Scorpio eventually does learn that intuition is not the same thing as fear. Their gift is not paranoia. Their gift is perception. And their gift is like seeing beneath masks and helping others discover their own truth. Now, when healed, these Mercury and Scorpio individuals become some of the wisest communicators in the entire zodiac because, you know what? They understand human suffering and they understand emotional complexity. And if you have Mercury and Scorpio, your words do carry quite a bit of power. Your voice carries depth. You were not born to like speak about meaningless things. You were born to investigate the mysteries of life and to uncover truth and to guide others through their darkness and into transformation. You are the person at the party discussing reincarnation while everyone else is discussing the potato salad. You are the friend who accidentally becomes everyone's therapist. You are the detective, the healer, the psychic, of course, the investigator, and sometimes you are the person who can spot a lie before the liar even realizes they are lying, okay? So if you love somebody with Mercury and Scorpio, I want you to remember this. They are not trying to evade your soul. They simply live in a world where truth matters more than comfort does. They just seek honesty because they fear betrayal. And they search deeply because they want genuine connections with the people they love. And if they ask you 17 questions in a row, it is usually because they care enough to understand you completely. Now, although sometimes they are simply just conducting an emotional FBI investigation, and honestly, you guys, at that point, you should probably just tell them everything, okay? I'm just saying, because Scorpio and Mercury will most certainly already know the truth, the whole truth. Okay, my dragon kittens, what did I miss? And if you all don't mind, please don't forget to show some support for this video, especially if you like resonate with it. I do really appreciate you all so very much for being here with me and sharing the truths. And I just want to know if I was on point with this, okay? For those out there that do have the Scorpio Mercury placements. Now I'm going to check the chat. I want to see who's come to shake this house up, okay? I keep getting these notifications up here. Sorry, guys. Just noticing something crazy. All right, guys. Who do we have? I'm going to try and scroll up without missing anybody. And now you guys, oh, we have Scorpio Mama. Hello, Scorpio Mama. If you guys have any questions that are centered around Scorpio, it could be Scorpio placement, Scorpio signs, anything like that, then please put them all in caps if you don't mind. That way it makes it so much easier for me to spot that question in the chat box. I really appreciate it. And let's see here. Fixed water. Okay, so Rob Smiley says fixed water sign energy. Yeah. We got Leah. Oh, dang, chat got just told me I have Scorpio and Mercury. So you do have Scorpio and Mercury. Awesome. Okay. That's awesome. So Kevin says, so true. Rob Smiley says, preach. Kevin says, it be exhausting. So do you think it's exhausting having your Scorpio in the Mercury placement? Let's see here. Rob Smiley likes here. Oh, thank you, Rob Smiley. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, Rob Smiley. We have Dave and Rob Smiley that I love the fact you guys are always so supportive. You guys rock. Rob Smiley, just saying. Yeah. Scorpio Mama, I love taters. So you might be the one at the party thinking about that potato salad, Scorpio Mama. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Soul Tribe. Yeah. Rob Smiley says, now I can roll up. Okay. Leah says, yep, that's totally me. I get deep, fast in conversations, but to be fair, I have complete strangers come up and start crazy deep combos. Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, and Mercury. Okay, awesome. So you've got a ton of Scorpio energy going on. You know what? It's so true, Leah, that roll baby roll, okay, that for some reason people just seem to feel either very, very, very intimidated by the Scorpio energy, or they feel so comfortable and safe opening up their entire guts to a Scorpio. Scorpios, because they're such great listeners, especially if you're Scorpio and Mercury. Scorpio and Mercury placements are just superb listeners. And it's like people just know, they feel your Scorpio energy, and they just feel like either they're going to be super intimidated by you and flee, or they're just going to just open up, like, and tell you everything, even if it's things you are like, I don't want to know this. Like, it's like TMI, too much information. Like, I get that. I've got that my whole entire life. Like, people will tell me their whole entire life story, and they'll go deep and tell me all their secrets. I'm like, you know what? I've only known you for like a half a nanosecond. What the hell? But it's like they feel that their secrets and everything are safe with me. And they are, because I don't tell anybody's secrets. Like, I'll go to my grave with everyone's secrets. Rob Smiley says, Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. Yeah. Yes. Leah, laughing my ass off. A Few Good Men. Yeah. That was actually a really good movie, you guys. Very good movie. I loved it. That's so Scorpio. Secret agent, man. Yeah. Secret agent, man. Yeah. That brings back some good memories. Leah McDougall says, oh man, I need to keep this video for future arguments with future guy in my life. You're explaining things perfectly. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for that feedback. We have Lancelot. Hello, Lancelot. How are you doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Are you like staying cool? Right now, I've got some crazy weather going on. I know you guys can't hear it or see it, but oh my gosh, it's been thundering nonstop. Like literally, it's thunder booming. It's shaking the house. It's and it's raining cats and dogs. Leah says, so true. People seem to either love me or hate me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's so true with Scorpios. I went through that. My daughter goes through that. Like every Scorpio that I know or talk to, have befriended, they tell me the same thing. They like either people really, really hate me, or they absolutely adore me and either worship me or whatever. It's just like a Scorpio. Polar opposites, black or white, all or nothing, ride or die type energy. So Leah says, I didn't have a gray zone when I was young, but now I'm chilling in the gray zone. Yeah, I've actually learned to be in the gray zone a lot, especially with things that don't even matter. Like seriously, I used to be black and white about the stupidest, pettiest things. And now I've learned, because I've transformed so much, that I'm just like, the things that I thought were such a big deal when I was in my 20s are like nothing. I'm like, why did I get upset about that? Like, whatever. Yeah, things change when you mature and evolve and age and all that sort of thing. Scorpios keep the secrets in the vault. Yes, exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people would tell me everything, like things that they would never tell even their cat. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, you just told me you murdered somebody. Are you kidding me? What? It's like they know I'm not going to tell anybody. It's crazy. Lancelot, it's hot. Catching up on 3D chores. Ooh. That doesn't sound very fun, Lance. Lots of time on the music. Awesome. That sounds like fun. We go live in the stores the 10th. Oh, seriously? Awesome. That is wonderful. So you're part of a band. Like, what's the name of your band? Or is it just you? Are you like the star of your band? Rob Smiley, Scorpio hides secrets inside the moon. All water signs do. Yeah. That's so true. Rob Smiley, Scorpio moon vault. Right. Exactly. Strawberry moon. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So now I'm just going to get, I wanted to actually go through the Scorpio and Mercury deacons and give you some of the traits. Oh, man. If you guys are interested, you want to hang out a little longer with me, I will be flattered. I will be honored. If you guys want to know, I'm going to give you the degrees, okay? So like if you're looking at a natal birth chart, wherever you're looking at, okay? So like your Mercury and Scorpio first decan, the degrees, of course, will be 0, 0, 0 to the 9th degree, the 59th. What do you call that? Angle. So the sub-ruler here, okay, so we've got Scorpio and Mars, of course. This phone is, so anyways, the personality traits of your first decan, Mercury and Scorpios, is, of course, going to be your purest expression of the Mercury and Scorpio. You're going to be extremely observant and psychologically perceptive. You're going to speak only after carefully thinking things through. Naturally, of course, you're going to be suspicious until the trust has been earned. Highly intuitive and difficult to deceive. You keep personal thoughts very private. You have a very powerful, keen memory, especially for emotional events. And you can become very obsessive when reaching a topic. I mean, researching a topic, not reaching a topic. Sorry about that, you guys. Researching a topic. Yeah, I'm reaching a topic. Okay, anyways, so first decan, Mercury and Scorpios prefer very deep conversations. Of course, they don't like the small talk, okay? They do not like small talk. Now, your shadow traits for first deacons are you're going to be secretive, you're going to be distrustful of everybody and everything, you're going to overthink hidden meanings, you're going to hold grudges, unfortunately, and you can become verbally cutting when you are betrayed. Now, this is your Scorpio's vibrating low, okay? This is your angry, vibrating low Scorpio in Mercury placements, okay? Your motto is, I must discover the truth no matter how deeply it's buried. You're going to find the truth no matter what. Hell or high waters, you are going to unveil the truth. Like literally, you will go through the depths of hell to find the truth, which is no problem for Scorpios. So Lancelot says, zero gravity theory, all one word on YouTube. Drumming before I was born. Oh, I do solo country-ish rock under my name. Awesome. That sounds awesome. So the zero gravity theory. Okay, all one word. Cool. Thank you for, I'm going to have to check that out. Lancelot. I play several instruments. That is so cool. You can play several instruments. That is so, wow. I love the drums. Let's see here. Rob Smiley says, deep intellectual conversations always in Scorpio to-do list. Awesome. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. The screen goes black on me. Okay, so okay, that was okay. Now we're going to go into the Mercury and Scorpio second decan, and the degrees you should see on your natal birth chart. And your natal birth chart reading is going to be 10 degrees to the 19 degrees. Okay, and you're going to have the influence now of Neptune. So this is what some of the personality traits are going to be for a second decan, Scorpio and Mercury placement. You're going to be more intuitive and more imaginative than your first decan. You're going to be a lot more interested in spirituality and astrology and psychology. And you'll be a lot more interested in the unseen realms around us. And you will be an excellent storyteller, highly empathetic, while still maintaining emotional privacy, of course. You're very private. A lot of times a second decan Scorpio in Mercury's receive very powerful gut feelings on things. They're also fascinated with life after death, such, for example, I would say like you're going to be interested in like reincarnation, metaphysics, and mystical subjects. And you also can read emotional energy exceptionally well. Okay. You'll be compassionate yet discerning. Now, some of your shadow traits will be the fact that you can become very paranoid. You can escape into fantasy island land, okay, when you are emotionally overwhelmed. You may misinterpret others' intentions. Yep. And of course, you're going to emotionally absorb like everyone else's emotions and intentions, which means that you tend to emotionally absorb negative energies. You can become emotionally consumed by relationships. That's pretty scary. Now, your motto, there is always something deeper beneath the surface. That's the motto that I gave you guys. Now, let's talk about Mercury and Scorpio third decan. The degrees will be 20 degrees to 29 degrees. And your added influence here is going to be the moon. So that means that some of your personality traits, like the fact that you will be like emotionally expressive. You'll be very emotionally expressive in this placement or in this decan. You're going to be exceptionally emotionally intelligent. Okay. You're going to remember like every little detail, everything that's said in a conversation, especially if it was a negative conversation. You're going to be fiercely protective of your loved ones, and you're going to understand human emotions because it's just a natural instinct. You will have a strong ability to comfort others during emotional crises. And you know what? You could totally be an excellent counselor or therapist if you have this placement. You're going to be very loyal once trust is earned. And let's talk about some of your shadow traits. Now, unfortunately, people with this placement in third decan will take words very, very, very personally. They'll take them to heart, okay? They can become emotionally defensive for no freaking reason. But usually there is a reason. But sometimes there isn't. They can withdraw after betrayal. You may use silence as protection. You can become emotionally manipulative when you're not an evolved Scorpio. Your motto, the motto that I gave you is words have the power to either heal or to transform you forever, okay? Literally, your words have the power of life and death. So if we're looking at just these three decans individually, let's say the first decan, Scorpio and Mercury, you are going to be the investigators. That is like, you're going to be incredible investigators. And like the second decan, you're going to be like the psychics, like literally. You'll be able to just hone in on things. You'll be like I would say you would possess precog type gifts. And then like third deacon in the Mercury and Scorpio, I would say you're going to be, you're going to be like, I would say you are totally going to be the most emotionally intelligent of the three deacons. That's just, you know, what I perceive to be. So anyways, but yeah. Now I did actually try to research some of the most common questions that are asked about the Scorpio and Mercury. So, one of the questions that I found that people seem to ask a lot about this placement is like, why are the Mercury and Scorpio arguments so darn intense? They oftentimes like debate with facts and receipts and that sort of thing, but they also have incredible intuition. It's like they know things before they happen, okay? And their emotional insight is just incredible, okay? And they can uncover weaknesses or spot like contradictions that other people miss. Another question that I get is like, are Mercury and Scorpio people like very manipulative? And so people frequently ask this because they understand psychology like really, really well. An evolved Mercury and Scorpio uses this insight to heal others and bring them up and help others, okay? An unevolved one will use information for control, unfortunately. Now, I'm going to get back to the chat. I don't want to ignore you guys. Let me go back here. I think, oh, hey, Dave. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. You are so generous. Thank you so much. Yay. Okay, so what's your question? How did I get so beautiful? We'll have to talk to the makers, my mom and dad. My mom was actually very beautiful once upon a time. Yeah. My dad was actually pretty darn handsome too in his young years. Yeah, let's talk to the makers. That was so sweet. Thank you, Dave, for that. So you're awesome. I appreciate that. Lancelot, Zero Gravity Theory, all one word on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to be looking into that. Rob Smiley says, wait, Lancelot. Okay. Oh, so Lancelot, you even sing? I see the microphone there, and I'm like, do you sing in your band? Rob Smiley says, I played the flute. Do you really? You play the flute? That's awesome. I played the clarinet and the piano. So yeah, for like many years. The flute, yeah, the flute is very beautiful. Dave Cabby, Lancelot, Zero Gravity Theory is the only way I could find it. Oh, okay. Smiley, that's it. King Capri, I play PlayStation. Oh my God. You're really funny, King Capri. Oh my goodness, that's funny. So how do you play the PlayStation? Do you get it up here near your mouth and blow into it? Shake it a little bit. Blow the. Oh my goodness, that was good. Dave Cavney, hello, me too, King. Rob Smiley, I moved on to making edibles and babysitting dogs. Oh my, Lancelot, Mercury is 5 degrees Scorpio. Okay. Then you are definitely a first deacon Scorpio, whether that's Mercury or Sun or whatever. You're a first deacon, so you have the true purest energy of Scorpio. You have the Mars and Plutonian energy without any added influences. Toot, said the flute. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. I just love reading your comments. You guys are just, oh. So Rob Smalley says, I have a photographic memory. Yeah, I do too. Shoot. Like, I can't remember people's names for poop, but you know what? I'll remember detailed everything. That's why, like, maybe Rob Smiley, you can relate to this. Like maps are great and all that, but like when people are giving me street names, if like I ask for directions and people say, okay, so turn on Lansing Drive and then turn on Augusta Drive and then turn left on this drive, I'm just like, no. See, when I give directions to somebody who asks for me, I'm like, okay, the landscape. I'll remember like all the buildings, the landscape. Like I have a photographic memory of how the whole layout is. I won't remember the street names. So if someone comes to me, I'm just like, oh crud. If they're from an out of state and they want to know how to get to Walmart, I'm like, okay, so oh boy, I don't remember the names of the street, even though I've lived here for 10 years. But if you turn left, you see that big, huge gas station on the left, you know, Exxon. It's the Exxon gas station. You got to turn left at the Exxon gas station and there'll be flags and there'll be this. Yeah, so the photographic memory, like, yeah, people should not come to me for directions because I do not remember. I can live in a place for 20 years and I still wouldn't remember the names of the streets. I might remember one street name, and that usually is the main drag, like the main vein that goes to the whole entire city. But like, I'll remember like the whole entire layout, like everything, like every tree, every building, everything. So yeah, and then it doesn't help people that are asking for directions and they're coming from out of state, and I'm just like, shoot. Hey, Joe Bob, do you want to help me out here? Then you got somebody, you know, some of my friends, they remember names, they remember. I'm just like, oh, go talk to them, please. Lancelot, I feel the second deacon energy. So you feel that you have second deacon energy, but you are actually first deacon. But if you have more than one Scorpio placement, you could be first deacon in one of those placements. You could be second deacon in another placement. And is the reason you're getting, or you're resonating more with like the second deacon energy. King Capri. Oh wait, I gotta go back a little further. I missed. Oh my gosh, I missed a lot. Oh my, you guys are going crazy. So I'm just gonna be looking for questions since there's so much activity going on. So Leah says, when you say deacon, are you referring to birth date ranges? I'm talking about the degrees. So it's like the moment you were born, whatever time that is, your planets are actually in the sky at a very specific degree or angle, you know, that sort of thing. So that's what I mean by that. Like, that's a kind of so birthday ranges. So yeah, it's all about like the planetary, what degree and angle they were at the moment you were born. So, and each planet goes through their own orbit. You know, some planets go through it takes them to make an entire loop in like 30 days, and some planets, it might take them 29 days, another planet. So depending on where they're at in their orbit and around the galaxy or whatever, sun, whatever, that is at the moment you were born. So it's basically that planet in transit. So that's basically, I don't know if I am able to explain that thoroughly, but if you're looking at like if the sun is in the center and then you've got all the planets orbiting around the sun, and then the time you were born, you know, like if you are Scorpio, of course, it's literally, you know, like what degree in the orbit were you born? Where were they at, like at the 10th degree in their orbit and transit, or the 30th degree, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's one of these days I'm going to figure out how to, I've been actually looking into it, you guys, trying to figure out how to, I have to create files for a slideshow. And I can do that like without having like extra software, but I have not done it with just using like YouTube software. So I can literally create some files and somehow hit something over here on the screen. And then anyways, I'm still trying to figure it all out, you guys, how I can start doing like sharing files during my live streams to show you exactly what I'm trying to talk about. Sometimes I'm not as great with words explaining things. Like I can envision it in my brain, but then when it comes to like literally trying to explain it in words, because my mind is fragmented and going in 20 different directions, sometimes the words don't come out right. I like having pictures to show, okay, look, this is what it looks like. You know, this is what I'm talking about, this right here. So yeah, I have ADHD, I have DVD, I have ABCs, I have all of them. And so like, I have to have notes everywhere. I have to write it. If I'm not writing down all my notes, I'm putting them on my phone, like in notes, like in a note form, because my brain will literally just want to go in 20 different directions. I'm thinking about 20 different things and I'm just like, you know, but like when I actually do, when I'm actually really, really, really interested in something, that's probably the only time I'm able to focus on one thing. And even that, it's really hard. But when I do focus, it's like complete focus on one thing and I will master it. So yeah, but if I'm not really interested in things, then like my brain just goes a million different directions. Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? Bum, 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 bum. I hope I'm not missing any questions. I got Leah's question. Scorpio Mama, what did you have to say here? You're still here, Scorpio Mama. Where are you, Scorpio Mama? I saw you. Rob, you are a trip. Yeah. Scorpio Mama. Okay. So Rob Smalley says, people think about Prometheus when you say deacon, like the alien. Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. A xenomorph. I try, Scorpio Mama. Leah says, good job. I got it. Okay. Awesome. I'm so glad you were able to understand that. I was like, okay. When I'm trying to explain something, I'm literally just I'm envisioning it in my brain. I'm like, okay, so what's the best way I can verbally explain what I see in my brain? Sometimes those words don't come out right, but I really do try. Okay, so Lancelot says, I have 4 placements: Sun, Rising, Uranus, and North Node. I will listen to First Deacon. Had internet glitch then. Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha, Lance. Leah says, wait, hold on. Leah, me either, Rob. I denied it for treats because I didn't have the hyper energy. Okay. I have attention deficit disorder of the oogie boogie, game over. Water Barrier says, my love has Sun in Scorpio and Venus retrograde in Scorpio, Mercury, Scorpio, and Uranus in Scorpio. Holy moly. But his moon Mars, his moon Mars is in Sagittarius, and he has Aquarius rising. Oh, yikes. He doesn't like intense combos. Yeah, because his moon is in Sag. His Aquarius now being in rising. Aquariuses usually are very brilliant minded. They're very intelligent, but they're not going to want to go emotionally deep. Now they can talk about interesting things like aliens and that sort of thing, but as far as like if you want emotional depth, you're not going to get that with an Aquarius. You're not going to get emotional depth with Sagittarius energy, and that sucks because like, yeah, I'd much rather be with somebody who's got a ton of Scorpio energy. They got Scorpio moon, they got Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, the big 3. Because then you're going to get the depth that you need. But like when you mix that Scorpio energy with Sag energy or Aquarius energy or Gemini energy, it ruins it. I mean, not in a bad way, But like somebody who actually does need emotional depth and wants to go really deep into emotional, deep, dark things, you're not going to get that with Sag. You're just not. Sag is more into, let's have fun. Let's go travel the world. It's all about activities and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a lot more superficial. I'm not saying like Sages are great when it comes to philosophy. Like they love to study philosophy and that sort of thing. It's not that Sages are dumb by any means, because they're not. Sages are really, really smart people, really intelligent. It's just we're talking about emotions when we talk about Scorpio and Mercury or any other placement. You're talking about emotions, and a true Scorpio energy, they actually need to have emotional depth with their partner or with their best friend or whoever. And Sag and Moon, since a Sag is in a Moon placement, you're dealing with the emotions right there. And so Sag is not going to be emotionally deep. They're not. If you're with you might get that with an Aries in Moon sign. You could get the depth, but you're definitely not going to get it with a Sag. And Water Bearer says, I crave emotional depth with him. Yeah, of course you do, hun. Yeah, definitely. I know that's exactly, I need that. I can't find, like, it's hell or high waters to find somebody who has emotional depth, and not just emotional depth, but emotional and spiritual maturity, and is always wanting to improve themselves and transform and transcend their former selves and evolve in life on a spiritual and emotional basis. Trying to find someone like that is like a needle in a haystack, because like if you do have a Scorpio sun sign, but then they've got a lot of Sag in their Moon, they got air and Sag, and that sort of thing, a ton of it in there, it just totally it cancels out a lot of that's true Scorpio emotional depth that so many water signs need. It's not even just Scorpio. It's all water signs need emotional depth. They need emotional, intelligent people in their life. But if you've got a stellium of Scorpio in your natal birth chart, it can be any three Scorpio placements. If you've got 3 planet placements in Scorpio anywhere in your birth chart, that's a stellium. And you're going to have an extreme amount of Scorpio energy. And Scorpios bond on a soul and emotional level. So there's certain signs out there, there's certain energies out there that just they can teach themselves to be emotional. Don't get me wrong. Anybody can teach themselves if they really want to. They can find those tools and teach themselves to be emotional and learn to, at some level, emotionally bond with another person, but it's not natural. Okay. A lot of other signs, they bond with their minds. They're built with, they bond mentally and logically, where water signs bond in the deep watery abyss, emotions, which is emotions and their soul. And so, yeah. So Leah says, Scorps need partners that are strong. Yeah, deep and cool with letting us do our own thing when we need our own time. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Leah. Scorpio Mama says, Rob got to have cake. Rob Smiley and Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh, Krispy Kreme donuts. Yeah. Leah says, Scorps. Okay, so I read that. Lancelot says, if I do not know you, I guess I really go aloof. I want the Scorpio union. We are one. Yeah, exactly. That's so perfect. That's perfectly worded. Exactly. Because that's what I always say to my partners. I'm like, I want your soul. I mean, I look at them with that Scorpio Destiny, and I'm like, you are mine, your body, your soul, you are mine. And we are one unit. Your soul is my soul. We're going to merge all that together. Seriously. Yeah, that's your true Scorpio energy right there. Rob Smiley, deep emotional depth. Leah says, we need emotional intelligent partners. Yeah, exactly. Definitely, for sure. Leah says, oh my God, the Borg. Yeah. So let me look at here at, I don't see any questions from you guys, so I'm going to go to the things that I searched out. I did a deep dive, you guys, to find what questions people ask most about Scorpio and Mercury placements. So here's a good question. This is a very, very common question at the top of the list. It says, why do Mercury and Scorpio people seem to be so intimidating? Right? Okay, so I would say like the fact that Scorpios give incredible direct eye contact. They don't just give eye contact. They're like drinking your soul in. They literally are reading your soul, reading your energies, everything. And so their eye contact, silence, and ability to perceive hidden emotions can make others feel like exposed, okay, or analyzed. And that is one of the biggest reasons why people are either going to hate you or love you, because of the fact that Scorpios, even when they don't know you that well, they're looking already. They got that laser beams already deep into your soul while you're talking, prattling on in front of them. Scorpio is like, staring deep into your soul. And for so many people, that makes them feel emotionally exposed. Like, oh my gosh, they literally can see what I am, who I am, what I've done. Oh my God. And they'll run to the hills, or just the opposite. They'll open up their guts and be like, here I am. You already see me anyways. They do that because they feel like they can trust you. So, and, but even if you're not Mercury and Scorpio, even if you're just Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon, or Scorpio rising, or you have a stellium of Scorpio in your full natal birth chart, people are going to be intimidated by you or absolutely love you to death. So, and think very, very highly of you. That's what happens to me. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. But see, I don't really care. If people don't like me, I don't care. They're not my cup of tea. Like, I'm not here to make friends, you guys. Scorpios aren't here to make friends. Scorpios are just true to themselves. It's like, love me as I am or leave me. I don't care. And then another question that seems to be on the top of most people's minds when it comes to Scorpio, a Mercury in Scorpio, is are they psychic? So many people associated this placement with intuition and dreams and like gut feelings, and also the ability to sense danger or dishonesty before others do. So like on the exterior, like everything looks like that Scorpios literally just, they know everything. They can read your mind, I actually can have visions, like instant visions. When I first meet somebody, I actually instantly know someone's heart. I instantly know if they have a black heart, a good heart, a pure heart. And a lot of times, especially with friends and family, and occasionally strangers, I will have visions of literally what's going to happen to them in their life. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. I've spoke about this in some of my older videos about my gifts, but like my sister, when I was 12 years old, I think it was more like, yeah, I was 12 years old. I had an instant vision of my younger sister. One of my younger sisters going to prison. And it actually did happen, like verbatim, the vision like came to fruition. But like even visions that I've had for myself, whether I was awake or not, or in that trance state, like came to fruition. Every vision that I've ever had, and I've had too many that I could write a whole entire huge book on all the visions I've had, and every vision that I've had, whether it was an instant download vision during the day or in my trance state or out of body experiences, like every single vision has come to fruition. It didn't matter if it involved the president of the United States, my family members, my friends, or myself. Like they all came to pass, and a lot of them came to pass either at the moment they were happening or the next day or even up to a month later. I had a vision that the Twin Towers were going to be coming down. I had that vision a month before it happened. So it was happening so much so, especially in my 30s, that I literally had to put a block in, a mental block, because every time I'd lay down, I wasn't really sleeping. I was just having visions of what was happening to everyone around me. And it was just like, I can't deal with this anymore. This is too much. I hate seeing all of this. I was literally plugged into the multiverse. I was literally plugged into everyone else's thoughts. And so I had instant downloads of what was going to be happening here and there and with this person's life and that person's life, or whoever. And it got to be way too much for me to deal with. It was just happening like every single night. Concern says, be back in a second. Where are you going, Concern? You just got here. Oh my gosh. How are you doing? You have any big 4th of July plans? Lancelot, Scorpio Mama, what do you guys got going on for 4th of July? Are you guys going to be lighting up the sky with fireworks? Are you just going to be like me and just chillax and fall asleep early? Okay, so where did you chime in at, Concerned? Because I didn't see you up here. So, Scorpio Mama, Rob got, okay, so let me see here. Where did, Rob only says, I go for Cancer. It's an easier catch. Jeez, you guys are so funny. King Capri, he loves his emojis. He's glasses on. Ross Smiley, contact. Water bearer. So does a Sag moon and Mars cancel out the Scorpio, Mercury, Sun, Venus, and Uranus? No, it doesn't. It doesn't cancel it out. You can't cancel out. You can't cancel out a stellium of Scorpio energy. It's still very, very prevalent. It's still very intense. It's still incredibly intense. It's just that when we're talking about emotions, and you guys, especially females, know that everything we do is based on our emotions, right? The moon rules our emotions. So if you got a Sag who is more superficial, okay, they're all about their personal freedom. They're very independent. Yes, they're great philosophers and they are intelligent, but they don't relate. They don't go deep. They're fire. They burn out quickly. Okay. So if you're trying to, because this is I need to do a video. I need to do a live on synastry, especially when it comes to how to find out if your natal birth chart is and your placements are compatible with someone you're interested in. And you look at their chart, like we need to do the synastry comparison and that sort of thing. So if we were doing a synastry chart on you, water barrier, and your man, water barrier, I forgot what your moon sign is, but let's say your moon sign, let's just say for kicks and giggles, your moon sign is Scorpio. Okay. So a Scorpio moon and a Sag moon is not compatible. That's not compatible. If you're looking for actual compatibility, that's not going to work. Now, if you have, let's say for kicks and giggles, water barrier, your placements, you have Scorpio in Mars, you have Scorpio in Moon, and you have Scorpio in Mercury, but the man that you're dating has Sag and Gemini and Aquarius in those placements in their chart. There's going to be a lot of combative energy. It's going to be very challenging very, 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 very challenging energy, because air signs, they, when they operate, it's all mental. They don't operate from the emotions. I'm not saying they don't have emotions, but the first place they go to is their mind, and they're going to be analyzing everything mentally. They're not going to be going deep in the emotion department. I would say the most important placement, and I'm going to do a separate live for this, you guys, and I'm just briefly covering it here because of the question you asked me. But you can't cancel out Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is no, it is so powerful that you can't squash it. But when it comes to relationships, and you want a romantic, you want a long-term, forever relationship, and you want it to go smooth, and you want smooth sailing, you don't want all the major challenges, and you don't want the chaos, then you need to look at your moon sign placements. Forget your sun signs, you guys. Forget you even have a sun sign placement, because that does not determine your compatibility. Because we operate on our emotions when it comes right down to it. Even air and fire signs, when it comes right down to it, we make our decisions based on our emotions. And water signs go extremely deep. They go so deep, no other signs can actually understand them. Okay? They can, fire and air signs can try to understand. If they really love that person, they can try to, if they want to put themselves in their shoes and be like, okay, I can understand you go really, really deep, but I don't operate like that. I'm, I burn out quickly. I'm an air sign. I'm flighty. I'm flaky. I'm all over the place, So you want your moon signs, and I will do a set, you guys. I'm definitely going to have to do a synastry probably next week for sure. We're going to talk about synastry and the placements you need to look at for long-term compatibility, marriage partners, soulmate partners, that sort of thing. And even friendships, even if you want to have a long friendship with somebody. Your moon sign is the first place you look, okay? Not your sun sign. Not your sun sign. No, you need to look at the moon first. That's very important. And then you want to look at the Mars and Venus and Mercury. Those 4 placements are so much more vital and important than your sun or your rising placement, okay? So anyways, I'm just saying I'm going to leave it short and sweet, because I will spend a good amount of time on next week. We will go there, you guys. We will go there. But I do appreciate the questions. You guys are actually giving me really good questions. King Capri. Oh, you sent me a gift. Thank you, King Capri. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah. We need to go there. I have been working on it, you guys. I've been working on this synastry. I want things to be smooth, and I want to be able to give you the best, most accurate, most deep information I have. And it's actually not that difficult to look at your natal birth chart and do a synastry comparison with somebody else's natal chart, especially if you just keep it, superficial, like not superficial, but like, that was not really the right word to use, you guys, but like surface level is what I was trying to use. But because I'm going to basically, my first live synastry video, I'm going to keep it for beginners, like beginner 101. Okay. How you would start looking for your compatibility placements with another person's natal birth chart. Anyways, I appreciate the questions, because that was a really good question. Lancelot, Cancer, I really like them. Never met a loyal one. I'm hesitant of all waters. If you evolved water, that I will take. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's important that all zodiac signs and all people should be spiritually transforming and evolving. I just think Scorpios are one of the only signs that really is so into learning about themselves. Scorpios seem to be very curious about themselves, more than any other zodiac sign. Leah says, ooh, I'd be intimidating. I'm 5'2". I kick shins and bite ankles. Be afraid, be very afraid. Leah, oh, you're an ankle biter? How sweet is that? Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. You guys are just, your comments are, you make it fun. Okay, so Concern, did you come back here? Where did Scorpio Mama go? Scorpio Mama, Dave, hell is hotter than here. Lanceloft. Okay, so Lanceloft says love 1 through 5 Aquarius, Cancer, Venus, Libra, Scorpio. And King Capri says sent chili for thank you so much, King Capri, for the chili for 6 jewels. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You rock. You're kind. Thank you so much for being so supportive of my channel. Thank you so much. You guys are just awesome. You made my day. Dave and King Capri, you guys are awesome. Okay, so Dave Cavity. Well, yes, Scorpio Mama. Okay. King Capri, my moon is the one that gave me my name. Right, so your moon is Capricorn. Right, yes. And so like Scorpio moons do very, very well with Capricorn moons. You see, Lanceloft says Moon, Mars, Venus, rising, Sun. You said Mercury. Where does that fit? Lancelot, I don't know if you're asking a question, you could please put it all in all caps. I don't know if you're asking somebody else that question or me, but as far as like, if we're talking about synastry, Moon, Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Those are your big 4. Those are going to be the 4 you look at for long-term compatibility with another person. And what I said is your sun and rising placements are not going to hold a whole lot of weight when it comes to compatibility. So basically, I like to tell people, forget about your sun sign and your rising sign. That's not what's going to gauge whether or not you have a long, healthy, harmonious relationship with somebody. And of course, your natal birth chart is not the only thing you want to look at. I mean, you have to know that everyone has different morals and that sort of thing. And some people are spiritually evolved and some people are not spiritually evolved. You don't want to get with somebody and be unequally yoked. And when so they say that in the Bible, they mean spirituality wise. You do not want to hook up with somebody who is not spiritually evolving and at the same level as you, because it won't work. Yeah, it won't work. You'll be coming different towards each other. You can't have one person spiritually evolving and the other one stay stagnant. It won't work. Now, sometimes if the person who's spiritually evolving, in very rare occasions, the other person does follow suit, but that's only if there's true love and true respect and that sort of thing. I don't see it very often. We got a hi, I'm here illegally. Hello. Scorpios are somewhat, this is what I'm here legally says. Scorpios are somewhat manipulative, according to me. Okay, yeah. And you know what? It does appear, it can totally appear, especially the Scorpios that are not evolved spiritually, that definitely can appear that they're being manipulative for sure. The appearance is real. From an outsider looking in, who the people who don't actually truly understand Scorpios, it does appear, and I use that word loosely, it appears as though a Scorpio can be manipulative. It's just Scorpios just already know what's going on, you know? So yeah. But there is Scorpios out there, and I have known Scorpios out there that definitely, and these are Scorpios that weren't evolved, that totally can use what they know about you as a weapon and use it to manipulate the situation, use it to control a situation, control their life, control others. If you if you relinquish your power to a Scorpio, they will take it and then some. But you won't have their respect. A Scorpio cannot and will not respect you if you do not possess very strong emotional boundaries. You have to be very strong-minded. You have to be stellar when it comes to your confidence and who you are. Because otherwise a Scorpio will take an inch, a mile, whatever you give them, and they'll take more than that. Okay. If they feel like they have to control the situation, emotionally speaking, they will. No problem. So, but the Scorpios that are spiritually evolved are not going to be trying to take things from you. Okay. They're going to try to help lift you up spiritually. And that is the most amazing thing about evolved Scorpios, whether it's a Scorpio and Mercury, or Scorpio and Mars, Scorpio moon signs, evolved Scorpios in those placements love to lift people up and heal them and spiritually help lift them up and bring them up where they're at in a spiritual sense, you guys. So like I was saying in so many of my videos, Scorpios are either really, really bad or really, really, really good. And they're like the angel and the demon on your shoulder. Where's Scorpio going to go? Are they going to lean into their angel self, or they're going to lean into their baddie self, their demonic self? Because Scorpios don't naturally, it takes them a lot of evolving to become gray. So anyways, I'm here legally says, okay, so he's saying hi to Dave. So, King Capri, you have a Leo moon? Okay. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Okay, so you have a Leo moon. Okay, gotcha. I've known a lot of people with Leo moons. Scorpio mom says, yeah, we can be a bit much. Yeah, definitely. Scorpios definitely can be. I know when my daughter was going through her not so flattering stage in life in her early 20s, late teens, early 20s, holy moly. She was the easiest kid to raise. She was so sweet and quiet and just the sweetest, easiest kid ever. But oh my gosh, she did a 180 when she got into her late teens, early 20s. And it was just like, holy moly, where did this come from? Like she went from the sweet, angelic Scorpio child I raised to the demon, the black Scorpio. She literally was like extreme opposite. Yeah. Okay, so concerned is back. Oftentimes people associate evolution with time, and that is certainly true. But I think that there are some people who are evolved even as children. Yeah, I actually believe that very much so. Yeah, I definitely, there's some people that I think that are born naturally more wise than their years, and are more spiritually evolved than others, for sure. I totally 100% agree with that. And Rob Smiley says evil is good. What? Spell that backwards and it says live is good. You gotta be like the Hebrews and flip everything. When it says the devil, it just means lived. It just means the lived spirits that once had a body like us, but no longer do. You have to flip everything. It's a puzzle. You see, Leah says, I prefer to play defensive. I keep my bolt of nasty for drastic defensive measures. I was never one to strike first. Exactly. Yeah. I lump the Scorpios and Aries are so much alike in the fact they're not going to bring the fight to you. You have to literally bring the fight to a Scorpio or an Aries sign before they just want to destroy you. Okay. And literally like, and if they're not doing it physically, if they're not physically destroying you, Hades will take care of business for them. Either way, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to have something bad happen to you. Let's see here. Rob's my vampire in Brooklyn. Yeah, I love vampires. Let's see. Concern says, as we're discussing yesterday, all the energies in a chart are so important. They are, absolutely. We have 4 Scorpios in my immediate family, and one of them is very manipulative. Yeah. And you know what? They definitely can be. They definitely 100%. I'm not saying that Scorpios can't be manipulative, but I think that sometimes it's not even the accurate word to use. But I definitely know that from outsiders looking in, Scorpios tend to look like they're manipulative. Sometimes, see, I've been told that, here and there. But the thing is that I actually know what's going on with somebody. I know what they're going to say before they say it. I already know who they are, what they do, it's like I have, it's this gift that I have that I know like everything about somebody before they open their freaking mouth. And so, yeah, I can have receipts and I can have the evidence, but with Scorpios and Cancer signs and even Pisces signs, they just know things. And so it can appear that, and because of the fact that water signs, Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces already just know what's going on before you even open your mouth. We know you're going to lie before you know it. Because of that, we're always 10 steps ahead of people. And so, yeah, it appears like we're being manipulative, but it's just the fact that we just know what we know. We can't explain to others why we already know, because our intuitions and our psychic abilities, okay, already just know things. And it's so hard to try to explain that to a fire sign or an air sign. They're like, what? Psychic? Because they're thinking with their mind, like they're mentally computing. Is it possible for someone to actually be psychic? Like, but anyways. Leah says, Scorpios in their south node play dirty, but in the classiest, most cutthroat way. Don't mess with low vibing Scorpios. Exactly. I try to tell people, encourage people, don't get involved romantically with a Scorpio that has not evolved, because you are going to be living in hell. Like, they will sting the out of you. They will sting the shite out of you. They will sting you. They will literally put you through the ringer and then some. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with an evolved Scorpio, then you're going to be in heaven. Okay. An evolved Scorpio is going to treat you the way that you should be treated. I've seen both. I actually have both kinds of Scorpios in my family. I have the evolved Scorpios. I have the Scorpios that are not, and I've had friends and people around me at work. Some of the Scorpios were angelic, and the other Scorpios were like, oh my God, stay the heck away from that Scorpio. They're in self-destructive mode, and there's just, so yeah, it's in everyone's best interest, even family included, to stay away from Scorpios that are not evolved, okay? Because they will sting the heck out of you, and it will hurt. It will hurt a lot. And Scorpios can sting other Scorpios, you guys, okay? So, like, if you're an evolved Scorpio, stay the heck away. Don't try to have a serious emotional relationship with a Scorpio that's not evolved, because Scorpios can sting other Scorpios, okay? It becomes a mess. It can become a mess. Big time mess. Chaotic mess. It's definitely not harmony. Leah says, does anyone else have a mind that works like a spider web? Like, you take one issue and your brain maps out every domino effect for every possible outcome. Yeah, I'm just like that, actually. I definitely have a mind like that. I would totally take one thing and I'll have 20 or more different scenarios and possible effects and outcomes. So Rob says, patience, not my strong suit. Yeah. So Scorpios aren't patient people. They're like Aries. They want what they want, and they want it now. I don't know I I don't know a lot of patient Scorpios. I don't know unless they're really, really, really evolved and they're really old. Yeah. Concern says, yep, psychic. Yeah, you're psychic, Concern. That's awesome. Did I miss anybody's questions? I'm going to look here one more time. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. If you guys are new here and you do have a question, please put your questions in all caps. It just makes it so much easier for me to see your question and spot it in the chat box, because a lot of times the chat is going pretty fast in between me speaking and then trying to read everybody's comments. And so Rob Smalley says, I have demons on each shoulder. Oh, God. I don't doubt that. What a party. I'm Here Legally says, there was this girl in class who manipulated me for talking to her best friend, our beastie. Because of her, I kind of made a fool of myself in class. She was a Scorpio. Yeah. Because, see, you have to understand this about Scorpio. This could be Scorpio and Mercury placements, any Scorpio placement. Scorpio's definition of loyalty is not the same as everyone else's definition of loyalty. So if you want to go, okay, let me find out what loyalty actually means in regards to Scorpio, and you look in a dictionary and you read no. Scorpio loyalty, and this is true Scorpio energy we're talking about, okay? This is your true Scorpios. Yes, they're loyal. They're loyal. They want loyalty. They are loyal. However, their loyalty is not the same kind of loyalty, okay? So basically, I'm going to try to give you an example here of what I mean, okay? So say, for instance, I'm in a relationship with a guy, okay? And we've been dating for a while, okay? This is just a hypothetical relationship, okay? I've been dating this Taurus guy or whatever for, let's say 6 weeks or whatever. And we kind of have a general idea. We kind of know each other fairly well. We've gone out in public or whatever. He knows, he knows about my job and who the people are that I don't F with. He knows the people that I don't like, the people that, and I know the same things about him. Okay. So say, for instance, I take this Taurus man to a work party. Okay. And he immediately starts talking to the people that I don't F with. Okay. Let's just call them enemies. But I say I don't F with these people. Okay. For a very good reason. But he's beelining towards, Tammy Sue and being all, up in her face talking and happy and giggling and flirting or whatever. And see right there, I'm like, no, that's not loyalty. That's not loyalty. You literally are talking to all of my enemies like they're your next target. This is the person that you want to be with. Because if you don't have my back in a situation like that, and you're befriending my enemies, that's not loyalty, period. So now if you say it's that sort of thing to a Sagittarius, now if I was dating a Sagittarius, brought him to a work meeting, he already knows who I don't F with. And he's all, oh, hi, how are you? How are you doing? Oh, really? Oh, beautiful hair. You look great. Oh my God. And he already knows ahead of time who I don't F with at that party. But yeah, he's living it up with them. Now he's my enemy, okay? Because now he's, to me, sleeping with the enemy, even though he's not technically sleeping with the enemy. So that's disloyalty. That's disloyalty to me. That's disloyalty to any true Scorpio energy out there. So yeah, that's why it's very important for people out there that aren't Scorpios to know these certain little things, these little nuggets of truth before you try to get involved with the Scorpio, because true Scorpio energy is not the same. They don't view loyalty the same way other zodiac signs do. Okay. So other zodiac signs might think, well, if I didn't sleep with them, I was loyal. Oh, but you flirted with my enemy. You sat down and had dinner with my enemy. You wined and dined my enemy. You know, I'm sorry. All of that is disloyalty, period. Just because you didn't sleep with my enemy, you're not off you're not off that noose yet. Okay. So now there's so many other zodiac signs that are out there that are like, oh, flirting is fine, it's good. You got your Libras. Oh my gosh, I'm not flirting, but oh my God, you're so handsome. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, but I'm just being nice. No, that's disloyalty. That to me, that's attention seeking. That's flirtatious. That's disloyalty. If I was ever with a man who was flirting with other women, especially women that were my enemies or people I don't F with. And usually there's a good reason why I don't F with certain people. Okay. To me, that's disloyalty behavior. I don't know if I actually expressed myself accurately as far as how Scorpios view true loyalty as opposed to other zodiac signs. But that's always been a contentious thing and within my relationships with people, with men mostly, is they think, well, if I didn't screw her, then why are you all upset? Oh, but it's okay if you take my enemy or the girls out to dinner and flirt with them and ogle them and all that. No, I'm sorry. All that's disloyalty, period. All of it. There's so many ways that you can cheat and be disloyal. And for a lot of people these day and age are like, well, if I didn't actually sleep with her physically, then I'm being loyal. Yeah. So I have to literally reiterate that a lot. So that's why a lot of times, like Scorpios, especially Scorpio moon signs, I have to be very, very particular about who they are involved with. Because Scorpio moons are a lot more intense than a Scorpio sun. Scorpio moons, and anybody who has a stellium in their natal birth chart is going to have an incredible amount of Scorpio energy, especially if they're first decan Scorpios. They're going to be the purest true form of Scorpio. And so, yeah, it's not easy. I'm telling you right now, having Scorpio and Venus, Scorpio and Mercury, Scorpio and Moon signs, even Scorpio and Mars signs, it's not easy at all whatsoever. Not easy at all, and especially the Scorpio moon signs, which I'm going live also next week, and I will be talking about about the Scorpio moon sign. We need to revisit Scorpio moon signs. They're the most emotionally intense of the big three Scorpio placements. They're going to be a hell of a lot more intense than a Scorpio sun sign. I'm just telling you right now. They're going to be, some people think, that the Scorpio rising sign is the most emotionally intense. They're not emotionally intense like a Scorpio moon is. They definitely have the Scorpio intimidation factor. They have the magnetism more than probably a Scorpio moon does, but they don't have that Scorpio depth of emotion. It's not near as deep. It's not near as... Scorpio moons can go very dark, very fast. Like, seriously, you guys. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So anyways, okay, so Concern says, oftentimes people associate evolution. Okay, so I read that one already. Oh, Concern says, as we're discussing yesterday. Oh, so I went up too far. Oh my goodness. Where in the world are we now? So let's see. Leah says Scorpios and there's, okay, I still am not where we need to be. Okay. King Capri, should we bet our lives? Okay. Okay, so Rob Smalley says, okay, this is all caps, but I don't know if this is a question, but we're going to find out. So Rob Smalley says, me and the homies go jump kangaroo Tammy Sue for Julia. I know I'm just making up any old names, but you're funny. Yeah, seriously. So yeah, if I was with my ideal man, and he knows like who I don't F with, and we're at that party, and he knows that I don't mess with Tammy Sue. In simple terms, Tammy Sue's my enemy. Okay, I'm going to keep it in simple terms, but my man that I bring to that party is like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to avoid her. I'm not going to talk to her. You don't mess with her. I don't mess with her. But if she does mess with you, I've got your back. See, I want a man who's going to not mess with my enemies, but if need be, if my enemies bring a fight to me, my man has got my back. Okay. That's loyalty. That's loyalty, you guys. And that is what true Scorpio men and women expect from their partner, is to have their back at all cost. Our partners are not supposed to be playing with their enemies and sitting down and whining and dining with their enemies, unless you're in the mob. Okay, seriously. Other than that, no. Oh, so Scorpio mom says, yep, angel on one side and on the and demon on the other side. Exactly. That's I saw that in my daughter so much, and even in myself. I hate to admit it, you guys, but yeah, even me. I can be like, and this is when I was younger. I don't have that demon. Well, I can have the demon come out when someone has when I have allowed someone to push me past the Plimsoll point. Then someone will see that demon, like, and they'll wish they never ever had opened up that box. But most of the time I'm very angelic. But when I was in my younger years, like really young years, holy moly, yeah. I definitely had the angel, very angel, but like the only time people would see that demon side of me is when they betrayed me or lied to me. Other than that, I was an angel all the time. So if someone lied to me or betrayed me, then they would see the depths of hell come out of me. I've learned over the years not to surround myself with people that bring out the worst in me, because it's scary for me to deal with. It's scary, the fact that I black out when I am pushed to that point. But, it still is much my fault. If I allow people to push me to that point, it's still my responsibility not to be allowed to be pushed to that point. But there is some people out there that I know that just, it seems like that's all they really care about doing, is pushing you past the Plimsoll point to get a rise out of you, Concern says, get this, my wife has all of her big three in Scorpio in the 12th house. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. So I have a question for you. If she has all of those, I'm going to get something to drink real quick. I'm going to ask you a question. Concerned, if she has all her big threes in her 12th house, do you feel like she has a very strong spiritual life? Does she seek out spiritual things? Does she seem to be more psychic than, I'm just curious, because 12th house is all about spirituality. Rob Smiley says, I'm the same way when it comes to being friends with my enemies. I'm the same way when it comes to being friends with my enemies. Yeah. The thing is with me, like, I rarely have enemies. It's not even really about enemies. I use that as like a way to make it easy for me to understand. There's just people out there that I don't F with. Like, I don't even have to have a full conversation with somebody, but I observe people like for weeks and months. And if I see how they're interacting with others and how they carry themselves with others and how they speak to others, and they're disrespectful, they're shady in all of their ways, basically, I don't F with them. Okay. Those aren't people that I would even be able to even give any sort of trust to. I don't mess with people that are shady, period, that have shady character, who move in a slinky, slithering way, that that are disrespectful towards others, that lie and, backstab others, gossip. I can't stand people who gossip. I just cannot stand people who gossip. If I see in a work environment, before I ever have a conversation with somebody, I observe them for a long time. Okay. And usually I'm not the one that will talk to them unless, I was a manager. So a lot of times I had to be the first one to talk, but in other situations, the other person has to be the first one to make the move, because I won't F with somebody who I know is let's just say shady. Okay. That just sums it all up. Shady behavior. Yeah. And I can spot snakes and that sort of energy, 10 miles away. So yeah, there's people I've never had one conversation with, because their shady shit stunk. Okay. And I can smell it like 10 miles away. And I'm like, just keep your poop over there. Okay. You ain't bringing that poop into my sacred sanctum. Okay. I've got my boundaries up. I got my walls up. Yeah. Rob Smiley, but it's the same thing. If I don't like your enemy, then your enemy, Death Eaters. If I don't like your enemy, wait a minute, I have to go back here. I must have missed something. Rob Smiley says, I'm the same way when it comes to being friends with my enemies. Water, not orange juice. Yeah. So boiling point. Rob Smiley says, but it's the same thing. If I don't like, if I don't like your energy, okay. Right, there we go. That's another way of saying shady. Shady, it could be shady energy. If I don't like your energy, then you're the enemy. Yeah, Death Eaters, exactly. If I don't like your aura or your field, yeah. See, that's the thing. I can feel, I can sense in everybody's energies. Like it's just, yeah. Dark empaths, yeah. Dave Cavity, poop, yeah. Poop. Keep your poop over there. Segregating poop, okay? I want people around me that have poop that smell like flowers, okay? I'm just kidding, you guys. King Capri, yeah. Let's flush that poop. Flush the poop down the toilet. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So Scorpio and Mercury. Yeah, that's a very important placement to have. And like I said, when you're doing synastry charts, if you have Scorpio and Mercury, you're definitely going to want to match up with somebody else that is emotionally deep too, that communicates, but also communicates in a very transparent, forthcoming way. But also can communicate on a very deep emotional level, which are Cancer signs. So if you match up, if you're, let's just say, for instance, King Capri or Rob Smiley, you have Scorpio Moon, you have Scorpio Mars, you have Scorpio Venus, and Scorpio Mercury. The best matches for you would be somebody or a partner that has Cancer or Capricorn in those placements, or even Pisces. Not for me though, but let's just say in general, a Cancer or a Capricorn, even sometimes Taurus and Virgo. And I would say also Aries. Aries is another good one. Concerned, because when I bring up Aries is because Aries is very authentic. They will tell you exactly how they feel, what they want. They'll tell you how they feel about you. They do not beat around the bush. They're very forthcoming. If they don't like you, an Aries don't like you. They ain't going to pretend to like you. So Roz Smiley says, which is why I keep a Cancer around lover to match my moon sign. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Because Roz Smiley, oh, that reminds me, Roz Smiley. The other day I was trying to find something in my book and I couldn't find it, but I wanted to give you an idea since I know you're still here. Hopefully you're still here. I wanted to give you, it's on this page, isn't it? Let me see here. Make sure that it's not on both sides. Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon. Okay, so I wanted to read a little bit about your two placements, which is Scorpio, Sun with Cancer, Moon, right? So listen to this, Rob Smiley, okay? You listening? So Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon. This is you, right? I'm talking about somebody who has Scorpio sun sign with a Cancer moon. You are literally going to be the passionate protector, okay? So Scorpio sun, Cancer moon is a passionate and compassionate combination. Those with this combination are natural protectors who are always there for the people they love. They are also highly intuitive and have a strong connection to their emotions. Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon individuals often make excellent parents. Now, your good traits, okay, these are the positive traits about having those two placements, is that you're passionate, you're compassionate, and you're very, very intuitive. So let's just say you're psychic, okay? So Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon individuals are some of the most passionate and compassionate people you will ever meet in the entire world. They strongly connect to their emotions and are always there for the people they love. Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon peeps also have a strong sense of intuition. So some of your not so flattering traits are the fact that you can become very overly sensitive. You can definitely become moody and you can become jealous, but let's scratch jealousy and let's say protective. Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon, not protective, I mean possessive. I'm sorry. You're possessive or territorial. So Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon individuals may occasionally come across as overly sensitive or moody. They may also tend to be jealous at times. Okay, scratch that again. Territorial and possessive at times. However, these individuals are usually well-meaning and just need some understanding and compassion. Okay. Now, your perfect partner, if you have that combination, Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon, your perfect partner, according to this astrologer, says a Pisces Sun and Pisces Moon. That's just too much Pisces going on right there, you guys. I don't agree with this astrologer, but I have to put it out there because every astrologer has their own perspective based on what they have researched. Now, the perfect partner for Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon is the Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon. This pairing is ideal because they share similar emotional needs and desires. Both signs are loyal. Pisces, see, every Pisces I've ever known has not been loyal. So that's why I differ from this particular astrologer, because I have not ever known a loyal Pisces, ever. And I've met a lot of really great Pisces that I thought were, really generally kind, but they weren't loyal. But anyways, I'm just going to read you what this astrologer says. So both signs are loyal, reliable, and patient. They also have a shared love of security and stability. Advice for a Scorpio Sun, Cancer, Moon is, if you have a Scorpio Sun, Cancer, Moon, here are some tips that may help you make the most of your combination. Break out of your comfort zone and try new things. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. I don't really like that because you can literally manifest yourself into a situation and manifest yourself out of situations. I don't believe in that particular line. Take your time when making decisions. Learn to trust your intuition. Bang on. Learn to trust your intuition. Advice for dealing with Scorpio sun and Cancer moon people. If you know a Scorpio sun, Cancer moon, here are some tips that may help you deal with them a little easier. So appreciate their passion and compassion. Now encourage them to take care of themselves. Make sure to nurture the relationship with them. So I just wanted to read that for you. So there you go. I don't agree with the fact that Pisces is necessarily the best. Now say for instance, Rob Smiley, you're Scorpio sun and you had a Sagittarius moon, then I would say yes to a Pisces because they're both mutable signs. They're both changeable. Okay. That's why I say, if you have a lot of fixed placements in your natal birth chart, then you should not, it's going to be very chaotic and extremely challenging if you are with mutable signs. So Ross Smiley, like I was saying, if you are Scorpio sun, but had Sag moon and had Sagittarius in your Venus and your Mercury and Mars, I would say Pisces, great. But because you are you're fixed with a cardinal moon sign, you're going to do better with fixed and cardinal signs, meaning you'll do good with an Aries, or a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Cancer sign. You have to all see there's so much more to just a sign than just the sign itself. You have to look at whether they're mutable, cardinal, or fixed. You have to look at even their decans and even the houses. But on a surface level, like if you're a Scorpio sun and you've got Scorpio and Mercury and Scorpio and Mars and Scorpio and Venus and Scorpio and your moon sign, I would not suggest Pisces. I would suggest more Cancer. Cancers definitely can be very, very loyal. Cancers usually do not have 9 or 10 people on the back burner waiting to go to if things are, get a little emotionally chaotic. They're not like, I watched my mom do this. She was a Pisces with a Cancer moon, and oh my gosh, she had 10 guys waiting in the wings, and this is when she was married. She's been married 7 times. But she also had a ton of Aquarius in her chart too. So yeah, you have to really, like I said, I'm going to do another live and I will talk about synastry. Okay. Scorpio fixed signs don't do very well in romantic relationships with mutable signs. Pisces is a mutable sign. So is Virgo and Sagittarius. And unless you have a lot of mutable placements in your chart. Yeah. Anyways, enough of that because this is, but I wanted to just read that little bit about you. So anyways, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have relationships, friendships with Sagittarius or mutable signs, because you can learn from them. You can learn from every single sign. Every sign is valuable. Every sign makes the world a much more exciting, interesting place. I'm talking about just on romantic, like marriage and soulmate type of relationships. If you want to eliminate a lot of the chaos, fixed signs need to stick with fixed or cardinal signs. Mutable signs don't work well with fixed signs. They just don't. There's a lot of chaos there. I've seen it play out so many times. Cardinal and fixed signs can work quite well. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll up, you guys, because I see I missed something. So Concern says, regarding my wife's spirituality, she definitely has that, but because of placements in her chart, is having difficulty with developing that. She definitely has the gift. Okay. Since we're talking about my wife and Scorpio is not liking our people mingling with our enemies. Exactly. Now I'm talking about true Scorpio energy. There is some There is some flaky Scorpios out there. That means they might have Scorpio sun, but the rest of their chart is all air. That's your flaky Scorpios. That's not true Scorpio energy. So anyways, yeah. I had a roommate who was jealous of me and was an idiot. When he talked bad about me, my wife told him. Wow. Yeah, then that's definitely not your, yeah. She probably wasn't very evolved, or there was something else going on there. But yeah, most Scorpios that I know that are evolved and have that true Scorpio energy. Yeah, why would she? Says she's yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to entertain anything there. But yeah, that's kind of but you said she has a stellium of Scorpio in the 12th house, which is about spirituality. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would, I don't know why she would tell him, to be honest. That kind of baffles me. I can't, that really shocks me, actually, that she would go speak to somebody that would be your enemy, or consider somebody that didn't like you or you didn't like them. And then she would go tell them, that one really shocks me. That's a very, yeah. Because I'm not that, I like personally, and the Scorpios that I know don't do stuff like that. They keep that stuff tight-lipped, and they protect the ones they love. Now, if she was confronting him and saying, "Look, I didn't appreciate you being an idiot to my husband," she might have seen it as the fact that she, I don't know the situation. I don't know if that's what she was doing, like trying to confront him and say, "Look, you need to lay off my husband. Don't be talking shit about my husband. He's not an idiot," that sort of thing. Then I can see why she did it, if she did it in that manner. But if she told him just to tell him because she's interested in having an affair with him, or has, I don't know. I can see a Scorpio confronting somebody and saying, "Hey, because Scorpio women, I will say this about Scorpio women, are very protective of their loved ones. And that means they will confront. I know Scorpio women definitely confront people that are talking shit about their loved ones. So to her, it might have been the fact that she was literally showing loyalty by confronting him and saying, "Look, you need to leave my husband alone. You need to shut your mouth," or whatever it is that she's saying. To her, it might have been showing that she's being protective of you, because Scorpio women are very protective of their men. They're very protective, especially if they love you. Okay, so she really truly loves you, and you told her those things about that guy that he said about you, and then she went to tell him. She might have just been confronting him to saying, "Look, you better knock that shit off and leave my husband alone. My husband is," she might have been doing it in a protective, loyal manner. I don't know. That's what I do know about Scorpio women, for sure. Most Scorpios, unless they want to screw a man, is not going to go tell another man that kind of stuff unless they're confronting them and, being very protective. That's the only thing I can say about that. I do know that that's how Scorpio women move. Scorpio moon signs, Scorpio sun signs, Scorpios, and women that have a lot of Scorpio energy are very protective, and they usually don't have a problem speaking up about it. So I don't think she wasn't, in my opinion, she wasn't going to have lunch with him and be like, oh, flirty and trying to be friends with him. I mean, I could be wrong, but if she is being friendly with your enemy, then she probably wants to take him to bed, and you don't want that kind of woman anyways. But I'm not trying to think the negative. I'm trying to think in terms of how Scorpio women think. They're very protective of their loved ones and their husbands and that sort of thing. Rosmai says, let's hear if any other questions, you guys. I'm gonna have to start wrapping this up. I'm here legally. I'm so glad you're still here legally. How would a Scorpio with all the control look like? I mean, a Scorpio president, maybe. Will they be a dictator? Because Scorpio never stops creating power, I guess. No, Scorpios aren't actually power hungry. Because if they were power hungry like a Leo, Scorpios like to take the back seat. Scorpios are much better at being teachers and healers and therapists and that sort of thing, and shamans or whatever, spiritual leaders. Scorpios aren't, they like money, but as far as power, I don't know any Scorpios that are like that. I definitely know Leos are like that. Leos. Now, if you had a Leo as a president, Leos love power. Leos can be very, very bullish, and a lot of Leos that I know, the ones that aren't evolved, are they make the worst dictators, and they want the attention too. But Scorpios, you have to remember, Scorpios are the black ninjas. They do everything behind the scenes. So, for instance, you won't normally see a Scorpio as a president of the United States. They might be, however, part of the cabinet or the vice president. They might be the one behind the scenes pulling all the strings. But they're up front. No, they're not going to be the one going, look at me. No. I don't ever see a Scorpio being a dictator. I definitely see Leos being a dictator. Or even Aquariuses. But definitely not a Scorpio. Scorpios love control and power over their own emotions. And if you give them control, if you don't have emotional boundaries, and you don't have self-love and self-worth and a high self-concept of yourself, then sure, yeah, Scorpio will definitely gladly control you and everything that you give them, but they won't respect you. Now, I encourage people to literally work on themselves and get and build up a strong, stellar self-concept and self-love, and dig deep, get into your unconscious. You need to learn yourself, and you need to have very, very stellar, healthy, emotional and spiritual boundaries. If you don't have those boundaries, a Scorpio will be like, I'll take them and more. That doesn't mean they're power hungry. That just means they feel like you need to be controlled because you're a mess. But evolved Scorpio will not just try to take control, to actually lift you up spiritually. And I don't know a lot of bad Scorpios out there. Yes, they do exist. Of course they do. You've got good and bad of everything. But the Scorpios that I personally know are very good teachers, really good people, good-hearted, pure-hearted people. You just don't want to get on a Scorpio's blacklist, y'all. So anyways, but that was a good question. I'm here legally. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Last one says, I'm okay with territorial. Yeah. See, the thing is that there's so much out there. I see so many content creators creating absolute rubbish out there about Scorpios being jealous. What the hell what are Scorpios jealous of? Tell me. Do you even know? Like, I ask myself in my head as I'm talking to one of these idiot content creators that don't know crap about Scorpios. I'm like, what the hell is your definition of jealousy? And even jealousy and envy are even two separate words and have two separate meanings. I don't know Scorpios that are jealous and envious of others. I definitely know Scorpios are possessive of what they believe is theirs, emotionally speaking. because they invest their emotions, their deep emotions and soul into a relationship, into their loved ones. And yes, they can totally, if you give a Scorpio a reason to be jealous, okay? For instance, if a Scorpio man is with a Libra woman, okay, because Libras usually are kind of, flirtatious. So you got a Scorpio man and a Libra woman, and they go out in public, whatever, party, a bar. And the Scorpio's woman is a Libra, and she's, ha ha, hoo hoo, flirting with everybody around and that sort of thing. She's giving all of her attention to all these other strange men, whether it's at a party or not. Yeah, literally, that Scorpio man has every right to feel jealous because he's invested his emotions and attentions into her, and now she's giving all of her time or energy, emotions to other strange men. He has every freaking right to be jealous. You damn right, okay? But in a general consensus, when somebody isn't taking all of their attention and giving it to somebody else, Scorpios are definitely possessive and territorial, okay, of what they believe is emotionally theirs. That doesn't mean necessarily they believe you are their object, okay? They're not objectifying you as like you're just this piece of meat that they own. They don't see it that way at all. It's an emotional investment. It's a soul investment of their energies, their time, their heart, all the things that actually should matter in a relationship. So anybody, whether you're a Scorpio or not, if you take all of your attentions and put it into other things and other people, rather than into your partner who's standing there by your side, giving you all of themselves all the time, that partner has every right to feel jealous, period, because you're giving all of your attention, all of your love, all of your everything to other strange people and other strange things. You are literally putting that person in a position to feel jealous, okay? You're seriously. A Scorpio is not going to be jealous just for the hell of it, you guys. What the hell are they going to be jealous of? They don't care what other people look like. They don't care what other people have. They're definitely not envious of others. So, yeah, I have to set the record straight on that. Anybody can be pushed into the point of jealousy if their partner, their wife or their spouse or their girlfriend or whoever is giving their love and attention and flirtations and energies to other people and not to them. Yeah, totally have every right to feel jealous. I'm sorry. Jealous is a natural human emotion and it's there for a reason. Now, jealousy that's out of line, if it's some girl who's jealous of another girl because she has beautiful, better looking hair, and she's jealous of another, the way another girl looks, that's just ridiculous. To me, that's what? Why are you jealous of another person? You need to love yourself first. If you love yourself, you think highly of yourself, you'll never be jealous of what other people look like, ever, ever, ever. To me, that's the kind of jealousy that is sick and twisted, and there's no room for that sort of jealousy, okay? You should never be jealous of what someone else looks like or what they drive or whatever, But yeah, and some people get all of that twisted and out of context. You have to take everything in their unique situations and in context. And people out there, these content creators out there on YouTube are like, oh, Scorpios are jealous and they're sex freaks and they're this and they're that and they're Scorpio hoes. And I'm just like, oh my God, seriously? So Scorpios do get a bad rap, no matter if you're Scorpio Mercury, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Sun. Seriously, you guys, Scorpios do get a bad rap. I hear it all the time and it ticks me off. It ticks my ticker. So yeah, give me a soapbox concerned and I will preach. So yeah. Yeah, Scorpio mama. My mom was trying to outdo Liz Taylor for sure. I think Liz Taylor was married 10 times or 9 times or something like that. She was married more than my mom, but my mom was trying to catch up. Yeah, and that's what I think. Ooh, 7 times. She's Pisces energy and Aquarius energy. And so she literally, in every single one of her relationships, she had 10 guys waiting on the back burner. So if she got in a fight with her husband, she was calling Tim down the street. Hey, you want to hook up? I mean, I didn't like seeing it, you guys. It made me sick. Like, seriously, when I saw how many times she was sleeping around on all of her husbands and boyfriends and all, it made me want to vomit. Like, I had no respect for my mom. Which is really sad. But yeah, anyways, I've been married twice and there ain't going to be no third marriage. The two is way too much for me. So yeah, I'm a lot more like my dad. My dad was married twice and he's like, done, I'm done. If I can't get it right the second time around, there ain't no third time. Just stay by yourself. Let's see, concern. Yeah. So Dave Cavity says, I'm about to fall asleep, so I'm going to eat and go to bed. See you all tomorrow. Oh, good night, Dave. Thank you for being here. Sweet dreams. Scorpio, let's see. Concern says, by the way, I love the fact that your replays of your lives include the chat. Yeah, me too. I didn't realize that I didn't tick the box for, it would say like replay your live chat. And in my very first live streams, I forgot to tick that box. And so I caught it. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I tick this box before? So anyways, yeah, it was something I caught on to that I was ignoring. I don't know why I was ignoring it, but I was. And I got that all fixed. Oh, so I'm here, Lisa. See you, Julian. I have my exam on the 6th of July. So like I'm waking up all night. Oh, well, I hope you do very well on your exam. I'm here legally and I'm so glad you were here. And thank you for gracing me with your presence and supporting my channel. You're awesome and good luck on your exam. I know you're going to do great. You're very intelligent. And get some sleep. Okay, so yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I absolutely love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Oh, wait, here's something I want to read real quick. So I'm here lately says Scorpios would remember a Pisces for like ever and same vice versa. Yeah. Pisces, definitely. Yeah, some of the kindest people I've ever met were Pisces. Seriously. Concern says, it's so funny when everything is so accurate. Yeah, I agree. And Rob Smiley says, same applies to Cancer. I can heal my own past. I don't need them for that. Yeah, exactly. I'm here legally says, Pisces are the healers of Scorpio's dark past, I guess. I'm here legally. So Scorpios are in their very final transformation. And even before that, even in their ego stage, Scorpios, especially if they're second deacon Scorpios, are the healers. Pisces can, but usually most of the Pisces that I've known are not evolved and they're too busy playing the martyr victim role where they can't even save themselves. I have not ever met a evolved Pisces that was a healer. I never have. I've met Pisces that literally were always boo-hooing their lot in life and playing the victim role. I'm not saying that all Pisces are like that, you guys, so don't take that out of context. But I've never met an evolved Pisces that was a healer. I have met a ton of Scorpios that were very therapeutic. They were great teachers. They were healers and just very angelic. And I'm not saying that there isn't Pisces out there that are incredible. Okay. I just haven't met them personally. Okay. And I have been around the world. I have traveled. I've been around a ton of people. I have not met, I have met very kind and sweet, compassionate Pisces, empaths. I've met great Pisces in certain regards. But I have not met a Pisces that I felt had healing energies. I've never. Now with Scorpios and Cancers, they are definitely more of your healers and your teachers and that sort of thing. But, there is Scorpios out there that definitely vouch for Pisces, that they're with a great Pisces. And a Pisces is only going to be loyal to you if they truly, absolutely, 100% truly love you. If they sort of love you, you know, their love is flighty, it's mutable. Their love is mutable just like they are. So one day they love you, the next day they love Tim over here on the back burner, then the next day they might love you again, and then if you piss them off emotionally, then they're going to go to Rob over here, okay, who's also on the back burner and waiting in the wings. So unless a Pisces literally has like truly 100% really truly loves you, there no. And even then Pisces don't really possess the sort of loyalty that a true Scorpio energy is needing in their life. But you have to look at the whole entire natal birth chart, you guys, and we'll talk about the next week when I go live. I'm going to get off here. I have got things I've got to do for this evening, but I thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you on 4th of July tomorrow. I'm kissing y'all, and have a great night, and we are out. Cheerio.